All right. Hello.
Sweet. Hello, hello.
How's it going?
I think this is our first live webinar. Am I allowed to say the word webinar?
I don't like the word webinar.
Barry hates the word
I
webinar.
wrote a tweet a few years ago that I was like, my promise is we'll never use the word webinar. And George, the CEO of 5chan, replied to it. He says, you will renege on this promise or whatever. And
We have
lo and behold, people use the word webinar here, but I won't. So this is a live virtual event or whatever.
live hangout.
Live stream. And we're here to talk about generative data apps, which is an amazing new thing we launched in beta just yesterday, and has already been seen people build some really amazing things. And so we want to share a little bit about what this feature is about, the backstory, how we built it, most importantly, show you a bunch of the really cool things you can do with it, and then talk a little bit about where it's going and what's next.
Amazing.
Cool. So I did think I would start with a brief hit on the bit of the backstory on this, because this is all at once something we've been working on just for a couple months, but also something we've been thinking about for a very long time.
Yeah.
And so we first released our AI features, first round of our AI features, February 2022, or February 23. Sounds like a long time ago now.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
And those features very much used all the visualization capabilities we'd already built into the Hex platform, because one of the things we'd spent a lot of time on over the years was building out this really rich way to take your analysis and then not only build visualizations, but configure and build what we call data apps, which are these really flexible things. It could be like a dashboard or a report or something more interactive. It was like actually one of the first things we built was this whole drag and drop WYSIWYG app builder. And it was good. It was great. And we even had versions of our AI features that could sort of help you build those. But last summer, we started questioning this and thinking about, hey, what if the future of this is just all generative? What if it's code gen? You could go all in on that. We built a first prototype with some experiments on how to do viz and app gen last summer. I think our read was the models weren't quite ready. Like they were good, not quite.
And it was pretty slow.
Pretty slow.
For just one chart.
One chart. We did some experiments with fine tuning. We looked at a lot of different model types, and we decided to kind of set it down and focus on some other things, including our main agent work, which has been obviously incredibly amazing. And then it was at the beginning of this year that we picked this back up and said, we think now is the time to actually go forward on this. And so for the last 3 months or so, we had a very small team. A couple engineers,
mostly designer, like just a couple people and one designer
building this. And a few weeks ago we decided, hey, this has gotten to the place where we're excited to release it. And so that leads us up to the beta yesterday. And
so yesterday we went live. So the generative apps are now in beta. They are available for anyone and everyone on the Hex platform. So you can definitely try it out right now if you've not already. It's definitely early. We definitely think there's still some rough edges, but we already in the last 2 days have gotten so much feedback that's been awesome.
That's been great.
And we're going to be moving really fast here. So a lot more to come. And if you hit rough edges or improvements or have feedback, send it our way.
And this isn't beta. Today it's alongside that traditional drag and drop app builder, which you can still use and those apps still work.
Yeah.
But our goal is for this to be the primary way and the future of how you do viz and app creation in Hex. And so over the course of the beta, making a bunch of improvements and eventually get to the point where this is the default and the thing. So
yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think that was something I was a little hesitant at first about, but just seeing everything you've been able to build, it feels like we've released 100 features in 1 week.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we've been enough talking about it. Let's
show it off.
Jump in and show off. So let's see some of the stuff we built.
Alrighty.
I asked Olivia, I said, did you tested the screen sharing?
I did.
She said,
I did.
I think you want to do entire screen.
We will just do entire screen. That's fine. Alrighty. Cool. Can you guys see okay?
Great.
All right. Like any good cooking show, we're going to put something in the oven to bake. So if you're in the Hex platform, you can kind of just kick this off from the home page. So I'm going to kick this off and let the agent work on this. This is integrated directly with the notebook agent experience as is today. So you don't really have to do anything new. You'll see at the top, there's this new little app builder, which you can choose between classic or generative. If you are not sure also, the agent can ask you. but we're going to jump right in. So while this is going, we're gonna show off some other really cool apps. So this is probably one of my favorite ones. I think one of the really cool things about generative apps is you really have full flexibility on the way it look and feel, like the look and feel. And I think this is such a good example of that. Holy moly, everything is fully customized, like down to these like little like lights flashing.
I'm trying to place this theme. It's kind of like retro, future punk, spaceship.
Yeah, I feel like we're on intergalactic new universe.
Yeah, I'm into it.
And of course, you know, an app like this, the theme is maybe a little funny, and but I think it actually just shows you the possibility about what you can be building.
Maybe your company is does spaceships, and this is your theme.
Maybe your company does spaceships. Yeah. So it's super cool. There's all of these little interactive inputs that you can use. You can actually add queries, and it's really, really awesome.
Cool. What's next?
All right, another one. We have a little ARR what if simulator. So this app I thought was really cool because one of the awesome things about generative apps is the agent can actually be a lot smarter about what it brings in client side. So you have actually these really awesome responsive interactive apps. And so here I literally have this input slider that can, and as you change different parameters and variables, it's all live updated, and you can kind of see how different things affect your end ARR, ending customer count. You can look at churn. So this is actually based off an example we saw internally with our finance team, who wants to have all these like really rich interactive ways to explore what is, you know, like what does the future of revenue look like based on all these little tweaks.
Fortunately, our numbers are all a lot higher than this. But yes, it's good demo data. The one interesting thing about this is notionally the kind of app you could have built in Hex before. Like we had input parameters and sliders, we had charts, we have single value cells, but there's just a ton of little details that are like kind of the customization and look and feel stuff that like it's just a long tail of things that, you know, not only did just being able to prompt this into be a lot easier than like going through and clicking and dragging, but also just like you could have full control over it. And that, I think even if we hadn't built, you know, that exact permutation of the feature you wanted, which is awesome.
Yeah, one specific thing I remember. So Madeline is on our Viz team. Mighty Viz team we have at Hex. They're awesome. And I always say they had the longest number of feature requests per people. Like true. There was always an infinite number of feature requests they had. And one of the feature requests that she would always talk about was making our big numbers more fun, interactive, having spark lines, having these little like ways to customize what's in them. And that was constantly customer feedback we were getting. And now this is all just really easy to do. These are fully customizable. And
let's look at some more.
Cool. Here's another one. And I think this is cool. Again, you get a lot of the full customization, and you also, I think the cool thing is tables are interactive.
Yeah.
So this is one thing.
Feature we never built.
Now it's there.
Yeah.
This is one, again, our finance team really has been asking for, is like much more interactive table style.
So you can just edit the numbers in there and it updates.
It should just update. Yeah.
Theoretically.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, let's look at another one.
Cool. Sweet. Here's another one, a live funnel analysis. We never had really nice funnel charts. So this is like another one, fully interactive. You can kind of just play around with it.
Cool.
Yeah. And all these you can pick basically which actions you want to look at the funnel drop off for. So
interesting.
Joe's dream on our growth and monetization team.
That's
I remember when we were building out all of our first initial onboarding, getting a simple funnel analysis was pretty hard.
Let's keep going.
Cool.
Oh, I love this one.
This one's probably like maybe my favorite. Okay. So this one is actually based off of an internal app Caleb made. So Caleb's on our data team, and we're in the process of migrating all of our company metric apps to use Gen Apps so they can be a lot more interactive and just, I don't know, honestly, just cooler. So this is actually based off one we have internally, fully custom branded. You see all your high level company metrics, and you can pop right into any of these, which is cool. And you can have
Yeah,
full
it's just really
breakdown.
rich.
It's
Very
really,
themed,
really
yeah.
rich.
This is themed as Nexacorp, which we always say is like our alter ego. Like if we were like a global evil corp,
Yeah.
well, we'd be Nexacorp. Okay.
And you can go back. And one of the cool things here is we have this operating model. So we're actually going to use this internally for how our metrics tree. And I remember maybe like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I remember getting a deck of like hand, like drawn.
Yeah, I think we were doing like Fig Jam or something
Yeah,
like
with
that.
a Fig Jam of how like all the metrics were defined. And I remember our data team was trying to explain it to everyone during one of our company presentations. And it was always just, I think, hard to grok externally. And now it's going to be fully customizable.
So
and
here
you can
you
actually
just click into each of these drivers, understand the relationships between things. I think I even saw a version that we had, maybe it's the internal one, where like these nodes are like interactive. Can you, what if mode? Oh, there we go. Okay, great. We did it.
Teed this up. All right. So you can actually, so like one, I mean, a small detail here that I'm obsessed with is just like the highlighting over. Like that's something so small that actually was really
we never
hard.
built the hover drop shadow for your metrics tree feature.
Exactly.
There it is. So I can click on this and play with it and then see, oh, it's live updates.
Yeah,
this is so cool for these types of scenario things. And like maybe this is actually the type of thing. This is the type of thing maybe you wish you could have built an app. It would probably wind up back in spreadsheets. Maybe you could try to jam it into some type of a terrible dashboard thing. But this is just such a great way to do it. And I want to talk a moment because we've been talking a lot about the UI and the look and feel of this. But like, I think what's so important is what's going on underneath and like why we even built this. At the end of the day, it's because this is built on all of your data.
Totally.
And one of the cool things we've been able to do is like incorporate this in our platform where this is querying from your data warehouse or your database. It's respecting your security, data connection permissions, and of course all the context, which is really important. Totally. We've done a ton of work. If you've been keeping up with what we've been doing recently on Context Studio, semantic models, guides, being able to do stuff externally, suggestions, like all of that context accumulates and compounds and then makes it so when you are quote unquote vibe coding one of these, you know it's going to be based on that trusted context, you know it's going to be accurate and it's secure. And so if I share this, right, it's going to respect permissions. I'm not, if it's based on an underlying table or a data connection that I don't have access to, I'm not going to be able to see it. Like, I think that's super important with this stuff because you can build all these things, but like, how do you make sure it's like sort of ready for work, ready for scale? Totally. It's really important.
Totally. I think another small thing that it feels small for us, but is actually such a big deal is the publishing aspect, right? In any sort of traditional web app, you have to deploy an app, you have to publish it, you figure that out. And that's actually a lot of steps. I was just on a call last week where I was talking with the data team and they were like, we don't want to build a whole CI/CD pipeline. I'm like, good news.
That's right.
We have this awesome feature coming because people are trying to do this right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let's go back. Do you think the one we popped in the oven earlier is ready? It's fully baked.
Ooh,
okay.
All right. It's happening.
So we asked
live.
it for a New York Times style. What was the actual original prompt?
Review our revenue and marketing metrics.
Data story. Okay. So let's see what it did.
So one of the things I really like specifically about generative apps as well is that they don't have to just be traditional dashboards or traditional data apps. You can actually kind of do any sort of layout. And so this one is one I've been having a lot of fun with. As a PM, I'm often writing or sharing out kind of point in time memos, and being able to have a much more beautiful presentation is really cool. So you can actually, the agent is going on. We love it.
It's done. We timed it perfectly. We're back. So let's see. Let's go scroll through it. Let's see it.
So you can see here, we have beautiful charts out of the box, and it's really, really awesome.
Yeah, this is really nice. It's just that, again, it's the type of thing you'd never been able to do in a BI tool or whatever,
Totally. And then behind the scenes, this is actually all the code it's generated. You can actually see it's like using components. So it actually imports those components, and this is the JavaScript, so you can see all of it. Definitely a to-do for us. It's just making all of the editing here easier and nicer. But for right now, all agent-driven.
Well, sorry, go ahead.
I was just say one minor thing that I think we spent a lot of time thinking about. And again, our Mighty Viz team, and they're absolutely incredible. A lot of what we spend our time on is how do we make the charts really beautiful out of the box?
Yeah.
And look really nice.
Models aren't great at nice, like following best Viz standards type stuff. And that is something we know a lot about.
One thing I always say is it's really easy to get something to 80% with models right now.
Yeah.
It's felt that, but like 80 to 90 is actually so hard. And it's something that continues to surprise me building AI products. The last 10%, unless you're a deep expert in that workflow or really think about it, it's really hard to get the models to do it out of the box.
I agree. So that's a good segue maybe to talking just in the last couple minutes about like where we're going. Yeah. So you mentioned making it easier to edit, and there's a bunch of things we're going to do there: editing, ergonomics, being able to focus edits, all of that. I think speed's another one. We saw that this worked for 5-6 minutes. Now I always call out that is much shorter than it would have taken to try to build this yourself. But obviously you want, having that feel snappier, and we're doing a lot of thinking on like the right size of models to use for different tasks here. Okay.
I want to queue up something else.
This is
really cute.
What else are we thinking about? What else are the big things on the horizon right now?
Totally. So one thing, probably the biggest ask that we've heard already, is ways that you can customize visualization context for your organization. A lot of orgs have custom branding they want. They have standards for their charts or types of charts they prefer. So being able to standardize that and kind of make it context the same way you have data has context. Visualization and presentation of data actually has a lot of context too. So that's something we're thinking a lot about. The other part of this is I think we really want to make the editing workflow here much richer. 0 to 1 feels really fast, and we want to make that last mile of all the tweaks, changes a lot faster. You can imagine a world where you could just like highlight the app directly and edit it. So a lot more to do there. And I think the last thing we're thinking a lot about is, okay, you've made these beautiful apps. Can we make them even more powerful? You can imagine if they were stateful, have like more interactions, that you could write out data elsewhere and take action. So
I'm really excited. I know it's not sexy necessarily, but I'm really excited about also more of the stuff on the governance and observability side. Like I think this is very cool, but I actually think secretly the coolest thing we've built in the last few months has been the Context Studio. Because it sort of breaks that trade-off between, I want everyone in the org to be able to ask and answer data questions, but like I want to make sure they're getting good answers. I want to have observability into that. I want to make those answers in the context better. And I think pulling a lot of this through there too, and like how you can, this is almost the next frontier of like, okay, you're going to let everyone in your org vibe code data apps on your data. That's cool and exciting because people like want to do that. They want to build, they want to use your data. Yay. But like, how do you do that in a way that's, you're not getting a bunch of like inaccurate slop or whatever floating around. So that's like a problem we continue to, I think is like very rich. And there's a ton we're doing there as well.
And I think like right now what we have is a good first step, because behind the scenes, you're using the notebook, it's using, your warehouse to query, but there is a lot of logic today that lives in the JavaScript. And so that's something we're thinking a lot about. How can we make it a lot easier to inspect this? Like, I don't really want to be reading this personally. So we want to make that a lot easier.
Cool. Great. Well, were there any other demos you want to show?
Let me see while this is working.
We got a couple questions from, I got a ton of questions from our global audience. I will field while you're doing that.
Yeah.
Question, can you take a classic app that already exists and turn it into a generative app? You will be able to. I think the migration path there is literally just going to be like tagging the app with the agent and being like, translate this. It will soon be able to take like screenshots of these apps more easily and sort of run them in a virtual browser and be able to do that. So that will be a thing. So we'll make that much easier. It's a great question. How would this work for drilling down, exploring the underlying data and charts? Totally. That is something we're also thinking a lot about. Drill downs, exploring, a really powerful feature in our product today. We want to bring that through to this experience in a cool way. The other thing I'd say is the chat with app functionality we have in the current apps is not here yet, but will be soon. That's another great way if you want to like sort of ask a follow-up question or be able to go deeper on something, that will all be there as well.
One more thing on the explorability and drillability. One thing that's cool about it all being code generated is actually authors of apps with the agent can actually really customize what they want that drill down experience to look like. And so one thing I've thought a lot about now currently is like the dashboarding experience today. It's a very, whatever's available in our Explore cell you can do. But now, because this is all generative, we can predefine some like drill down patterns, but actually authors can really make it easy to customize what they want the interaction patterns to look like.
Love it.
Sometimes you want drill down, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, on the rails. Do you anticipate the ability to save, upload user inputs such as budget figures to either Hex locally or something like BigQuery? We'd love to transition our department budgeting to Hex. We would love that too. That sounds great. Yes. In class, another feature in Classic Apps today is the ability to upload files and CSVs. I think that will be coming eventually as well. You can already do that, upload it into the project, but there's there. And then Olivia mentioned this a little bit too, of like state persistence, I think is a really interesting thing. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to have the ability to better support for things like write back and things like that? So stay tuned there. And is commenting something on the horizon for these like we have today in Classic App? Yes.
Yes.
It will be.
It will be.
It will be. Many things on the horizon.
Can I show you this other one? This one was really
do it.
cool.
Let's do it,
This was a slide deck. So as a quick aside, I think my personal favorite of these is these presentation styles. I hate making slide decks. I think it's the worst part about being a PM. So I've been having a ton of fun. This one was really cool. Again, totally custom themed. Like it's a Spotify Wrapped themed, but you can just kind of click next and
I love this.
It's so awesome. And I actually been using these for a couple team presentations because instead of just showing them a dashboard, I'm like, it's so much more fun to make it as like an interactive slide deck, and you can add animations too. Like, oh, that was great.
We have people about games and things too. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I still like a good deck. I think the process of like thinking through things is useful, but I think this is awesome if you're like presenting something.
There's one more that I'm trying to, which one was it? Isn't this one? Oh, this one. This one was really cool. I think it just shows the power of
I was like, did you just go into Slack?
I know. I also, when I first opened this app, thought I was like in the wrong screen. Yeah. I was like, what am I doing?
Amazing. This is really fun. People at Slack/Salesforce, please don't sue us for infringement here. Wow, this is cool. This is so funny. Well, neat. Well, cool. Well, I think we'll wrap it up here. We'll do more of these soon. There's a ton more coming here. Just basically every week, we'll be just pushing updates to this. So please keep sharing your feedback, your thoughts, feature requests. We love it all. We're very hard at work on this, and so excited to see what everyone builds. And on that note, there's a hackathon, I've been told.
Yes, there is a hackathon to encourage all of our customers to build the coolest generative app possible, and there will be prizes. I'm
told the prizes include an Uni pizza oven, which is truly elite, an Eclipse speaker, which also sounds elite, literally and figuratively. But as an Uni pizza oven stand, I can assure you that is a very valuable prize. So yeah, if you create a generative app, tag us on social, tag Hex on X or LinkedIn. Or whatever social media you TikTok, use. I don't know if we're on TikTok, whatever, Reddit, whatever. And you'll be eligible for this, and hopefully you can win a pizza oven. So
it'll be really awesome. I'm really excited to see everything. I think submissions are through May 29th. So,
okay, so you have about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Awesome. All right, well, we'll leave it there. Thanks everyone for joining. It was wonderful doing this with all of you out there on the internet, and we'll see you around soon.
Thanks for joining.
Later.
Bye.